Ahoy everybody, Captain Cal here. Today, Bungie released a large blog post describing their plans for the next coming weeks and months for Destiny 2. This has been a reaction to a lot of negativity coming from the community as a whole, from the forums to YouTubers to streamers, etc., where people haven't been happy with Destiny 2 for various reasons, and I wanted to give my takeaway from the blog post. The blog post basically broke down into two major parts, from my perspective: loot and the Crucible, and I want to talk about the loot first. So the primary concerns with the community thus far is that there hasn't been a lot of motivation to do a lot of endgame activities because they feel like there aren't adequate rewards for their effort. Many would say that exotics and other rare and powerful weapons are given away too easily, thus cheapening their value. One of the primary issues with it is that there isn't a gun like the Vex Mythoclast in Destiny 2, and I'm not talking about the Vex Mythoclast specifically, but one specific piece of loot that you can only get from the hardest activity in the raid, and it has a very low drop rate, driving people to continue to try to play it. Currently in the Prestige raid, all you get is armor. It's one of my personal complaints. But that being said, so here are the improvements. With vendors, they're adding the ability for almost every vendor to buy your missing set pieces of armor. So the example they gave was for Shaxx. You were able to purchase the entirety of the armor set with one weapon that was in rotation available for purchase. And these pieces of armor were available for a combination of legendary shards and coins. I think this is a very good solution for the problem. For me personally, just coming off of an Iron Banner where I got 78 packages and did not end up with a piece of armor that I needed, this would solve a lot of my frustrations. Because right now, there's no way to control what you get, and you have to hope and pray that you get the right thing. And I understand that that's the grind, but it can be infuriating at times. A buddy of mine got an entire set of Iron Banner armor after 18 packages, and my first set took me 42 packages. And I've heard horror stories of people who have gotten up to 80 packages and not received the armor they need. So I feel like this is a vast improvement to that. Moving on, they are adding a number of ways to add uniqueness to gear and armor. One is the Mastercraft system. So new legendaries that drop in D2 after this update will drop with a chance of being Mastercraft. Mastercraft weapons will have all sorts of things. They will have special unique perks. They will keep track of kills with that specific weapon. They'll have a re-rollable stat increase. This has some huge potential to, number one, make the gun you use very unique to you. So your Uriel's gift is your Uriel's gift, and it is unique to you and your character. And it tracks how many kills you got with that weapon, which, number one, will endear the weapon more to you, and two, increase its uniqueness, as well beyond being able to change the shader, etc. So this adds a layer of diversity and complexity that you can still grind for, because those stat increases are going to be re-rollable, while still maintaining their ability to balance the meta. And I think the Mastercraft system is honestly genius. It strikes a good balance with the ability to balance the meta of static rolls and hopefully satisfy some of the complaints about the lack of random rolls. Furthermore, they're going to be adding ornament to a lot of the sets of armor. They explicitly state 8 sets of armor in the blog. That's a lot of pieces of armor. It's rather astounding. And these ornaments will be challenge based or achievement based, which I think is a vast improvement over the old Destiny 1 system where you just got it randomly. So for example, they give the Iron Banner Hunter helmet. To get this ornament, you'll need to win 25 Iron Banner matches. That's quite an achievement. That takes effort, that takes time, that gives something to grind for, something to work for. And so for someone like me who enjoyed the record books in Destiny 1, this really speaks well to that, because these are similar challenges, and you're able to display these accomplishments and these achievements visually to more uniquely display your character. And I think that's very cool. They go on just to talk about saying they're going to increase the reward system, they say they're going to make it more rewarding to do stuff like the Prestige, Raid, and Night, and that they're going to add more incentive to doing strikes and public events and lost sectors and adventures. But they're relatively ambiguous on that. But they said that it'll be implemented in January. So my fingers crossed there, because like I said previously, there isn't a lot of drive to do the Prestige activities in the game right now, aside from saying you did it. Beyond that, they also are making some changes to Xur that I feel are impactful. The two big ones for Xur are they're going to add something called a faded engram, which according to this is guaranteed to drop an exotic that you don't already own. And that has the potential of being very powerful and very... My only concern is that it will allow you to fill out your exotic collection too quickly. Now that might sound a little silly, but in Destiny 1 I was very proud of my complete exotic collection, and part of what made me very proud of it is that none of my other friends had it. And so I feel like I'm afraid that it might take some of the grind and the challenge out of getting all of the exotic guns, but where we are right now, it's not terribly difficult to get all the exotic guns. And then the second major change to Xur is that they are going to make 3 of coins available from Xur. But they aren't 3 of coins like they were in Destiny 1. These 3 of coins will make it so for 4 hours, exotics are far more likely to drop. I would say this is a better system than previously on Destiny 1, because Destiny 1, the 3 of coin system was rather convoluted, and so this is a vast improvement over that. Moving on to Crucible, they talk about tuning the current gaming types, such as Supremacy, to make them more enjoyable. They released a patch a few weeks ago changing a lot of how scores worked in games like Supremacy and Clash, and they reduced the number of points required to win in those cases, as well as improving the mercy. So it sounds like they're just going to continue to improve on that system. Private matches, which we already knew about, should be coming soon in the new year. That's always fun. Private matches were a fun part of Destiny 1, and I'd be glad to see them come back in Destiny 2. They're also discussing the addition of a quitter penalty in competitive matches. This would be very beneficial, because currently, if one of your teammates quits in a competitive match, you are kind of screwed. And so this will hopefully incentivize people to not quit competitive matches, which would help the enjoyment of the entire community. Finally, and probably the coolest thing, is they discussed having a ranked system in the Crucible. This has the potential of bringing Destiny 2 Crucible to an entirely new level. I'm very eager to see what progress they'll make on that and how this will affect the game going forward. Overall, I would say this is a positive step in the right direction. Previously, they've had problems with communicating with the community what's the next step, and they reiterate many times that going forward they will be far more open in their communications. I love Destiny 2 and I would love to see it succeed, and I personally am still having fun. I know a lot of people are having issues today. Hopefully these are the first steps to rectifying a lot of that. This has been Captain Cal. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and have a nice day.